Hi, my name is John Dwyer. And I believe that the government and the institutions try really hard to take the fun out of being successful. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm living proof, and so are the people that I work with. Day after day, I continue to see successful people make simple financial mistakes with their money. Mistakes that are unknowingly costing them hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars over their lifetime.
If you would like to experience epic upside,
then these videos are for you.
All right, John, tell me about this financial mountain I keep hearing you guys talk about. Is this like a mountain that I get to ski down, or
Well, you can ski
is there
down.
a chair lift up? What are we
You can
talking
ski
about?
down, you can roll down, you can however you want to get it down, right? You know, I use this mountain conversation to help people get a 10,000 foot view, a big picture of their finances. Okay. And, you know, if we look at the analogy of Mount Everest, right? And if I were to ask you, okay, so Maria, you've been training, you've been doing all this work to climb Mount Everest, what would be your goal?
I would imagine my goal would be to get to the top.
Okay. Yeah, you'd want to get to the top, right? Now, do you want to get to the top and die up at the top, or do you want to get back down and tell people about your experience?
Preferably not want to die.
Right?
I'd like to get back down.
Get back down,
Yeah.
right? So what's interesting about that, though, is that oftentimes we always think about the journey of the ascent and just getting to the top. But the reality is, it's not getting to the top of the mountain. That's probably, I mean, that's the goal, right? But
Sure.
the reality is that you really want to survive the descent.
I do.
And so when we talk about this Mount Everest conversation, right? When you climb a mountain, you have three phases. You have the ascent, you have the summit, and you have the descent. Well, how does this analogy work with the finance world?
Please tell me.
Okay, well, the reality is that the ascent is the accumulation phase.
Okay.
Right, so this is the phase that you're in now. You're going to work, right? You're trading your time for someone else's money and trying to save that money and try to accumulate and ultimately get to the summit, which stands for retirement.
Okay.
Now, what I know to be true is that not everybody has the same opinions or views on retirement.
Okay.
It's different for everybody. There is a couple things in common. And that's either you're going to stop working or work less, or stop saving and save less, which at that point in time is going to become and begin your descent,
Okay.
which in the financial world is a distribution phase. Now, unfortunately, most financial advisors only pay attention to the accumulation and rate of return on your assets. And that's fine as you climb the mountain, but the problem is once you get to the top, the rules change 180 degrees from accumulation to distribution.
Sure.
And I believe that traditional planning has failed the American people because they're going to have more financial ruin on the descent than they ever will on the accumulation.
And they don't prepare people for the descent
They don't-
while they're ascending.
Right.
Right. They don't have the end in mind.
Right, so they don't have the end in mind, right? So if you understand how economic income streams will work in retirement, that should ultimately determine how you pack your bags to not only get up the mountain, but how do you navigate back down the mountain,
Makes sense to me.
right? And here's the deal, is that there is actually two rates of return on each side of the mountain. Most people are very familiar with the accumulation rate of return, right? This is the return on your money. Right? So let's just say you have $100,000, you invest it, and you earn 5%. Well, at the end of the year, you're going to have $105,000. That's just simply accumulation and average rates of return or rates of return. Okay? But it gets more complex when we start the descent because it's no longer the return on your money, it's the return of your money. Okay?
Can you explain that a
Yeah,
little bit?
absolutely. So let's just say you had $1 million in your wonderful 401k. Okay?
Nice.
Okay? And now you're ready to retire.
Okay.
But see, it's no longer the return on your money, it's the return of your money. And what all the studies tell us is if you have $1 million in your account, right? $1 million in an account seems like a lot of money, but what all the studies tell us based on sequence of returns, based on longevity, based on actuarial science, there's a safe withdrawal rate of only 3%. So if you had $1 million, that would be $30,000 a year of income. But you have $1 million, but you can only spend $30,000. Now, it doesn't mean you're earning 3%. On the account, it just means that you can safely withdraw 3%. And here's why, is because that money has to last not only your lifetime, but your spouse's lifetime.
Okay.
And there's all these downward pressures because of market volatility, right? Because when you're in retirement, and if you're withdrawing your money out of the account and the market corrects, you'll never be able to recover like you could during your accumulation years. Because why? Because you had time on your side to ride the ups and downs of the market.
Sure.
right? And it doesn't even mean that you'll have $1 million left when you die. It all depends on the sequence of returns and how money performs in the market as you're spending your money down in retirement. So again, if we don't understand how economic income streams work in retirement, it doesn't make any sense to why you would save money in the first place. The whole reason why you're saving is for what?
To spend money once.
To spend money in retirement,
Yeah.
right? So if we don't understand how these economic income streams work, what are we saving for?
Good question.
Right? And so we just help people understand that there is more to it, and we have to begin with the end in mind. We really do, as it relates to planning.
So would you label these like exit strategies or?
Distribution strategies,
Okay.
yep, and
Okay.
exit strategies.
Okay.
Most people do not have an exit strategy when it comes to their wealth.
Right.
Again, because traditional planning is only focused on accumulation, rate of return, rate of return, rate of return. More is always better. But see, for me, it's not about the asset value, it's what I can spend.
Right.
I could care less what my asset values are. I want more cash flow in retirement. Those are things that we help our clients understand as we navigate not only the accumulation or the climb up Mount Everest, but more importantly, the descent.
This goes back to kind of what you were saying earlier about just strategies.
Yeah, it's
I
all
mean, you're
it's
just
all
strategic.
it's all
about
strategy.
The ascent and the descent.
Yep, it's all about understanding the efficiencies of how wealth works and helping people understand the economics behind how money really works, because the economics are the economics, right? Now, you might be entitled to your opinion, right, and that's fine, but the economics are always going to be proved to be what the economics are.
Sure.
And the challenge is that we have been bombarded by information that benefits the institutions and the government and not us. We are pawns in their game.
Right.
And so at Solid Rock Financial Group, we help people understand the truth about wealth and navigating through all these complex issues.